So welcome back guys. In this particular session we will be talking about the NPCB, right? And it has been extended recently with the VI as well. NPCB is the national program for prevention and control of blindness, right? And recently in the 2016, right? Recently in the 2016 the visual impairment was also added in this program, right? Visual impairment was added for refractive errors, right? So please do remember that. So for the refractive errors they have also added the visual impairment. So now this program became the NPCB-VI, that is VI for the visual impairment, not for that same which you are using in your mobile phones, right? So 2016 is for, in the 2016 visual impairment, that was the suffix which was added to the NPCB program, right? So here we will be talking about obviously the eye, right? And about in the eye guys, one more classification comes, which is the WHO classification for the vitamin A deficiency, right? That is for the xerophthalmia. Please go through that in the nutrition chapter where I have talked about the xerophthalmia stages, right? Where I have talked about the bitot spots, I have talked about the night blindness, in which stages, right? X1A, X1B and all of those things, we have talked about that in the nutrition chapter. So for the vitamin A deficiency classification, please refer to that chapter. Otherwise other things for the national program for the control and prevention of the blindness, right? Other things we'll be talking about in this particular session, right? Okay guys, if we talk about the definition of the blindness, right? So basically they are talking about the blindness, and WHO they gave the definition for the blindness. WHO gave the definition of the blindness, and the same we will be following as well, definition for blindness, right? So they said that, right? So WHO, I am telling you repeatedly that WHO is something which which we are comparing with our data, right? So probably there is our program and then there is a WHO program, so we are classifying, we are actually probably comparing the classification as well. I have told you, I have showed you in the leprosy as well, I have showed you at many places that we are comparing the growth charts as well, WHO growth chart, and we are having our own chart as well. So that is also the thing over here, right? So WHO gave the definition for the blindness, right? They are saying that the visual acuity, right? I'm just writing the VA means the visual acuity, right? The capacity for your eye to showing you the objects, right? So visual acuity, if it is lesser than or equal to 3/60, right? In better eye with available correction, correction means available correction means thus uses of spectacles, right? Use of spectacles. Despite of using the spectacle, if some person is having the vision of lesser than or equal to 3/60 in any kind of eye, that will be considered as the blindness according to WHO, right? That is the simple definition of the WHO. And one more thing about the prevalence of blindness over here, right? So for the prevalence of blindness in India, if we talk about, right, and we talk about the world globally as well, in India if we talk about, it is probably around 0.6 per lakhs, right? In India it is rather 0.7 per lakhs approximately, and for the world it is 0.6 per lakh. Okay, so that is for the prevalence as far as India and the global is concerned, or the world is concerned, right? Okay, now we shall be talking about Vision 2020, right? Vision 2020 had some target, right? Some of them they have achieved, some of them couldn't, right? So over here basically from the Vision 2020, what we need to remember, I will be talking about that thing, right? So basically the vision was to reduce the blindness, obviously to reduce the blindness to 0.3 per lakh by 2020, right? So the vision was to Vision 2020, according to Vision 2020 they wanted to reduce the blindness to 0.3 per lakh, right, to 0.3 per lakh by 2020, right? And it is how much? 0.6 per lakh for world and 0.7 per lakh for India, right? Okay, now we are having, on one side we are having some priority disease, right, for the India, and some priority disease for the world, right? So let's talk about them as well. So WHO, there is a WHO list of priority disease. I'm talking about the eye only, not other system. Priority diseases, and other side we shall be talking about the Indian list of priority diseases, right? Indian list of priority diseases, right? So let us talk about them over here, right? Let us talk about them over here, right? So according to them, we shall be talking about WHO list over here, right? On the very first go, we shall be talking about the cataract, right? Now cataract, this is the most common cause of blindness, guys. This is the most common cause of blindness. It is the most common cause of blindness. Please do remember that. And this is also called as the ocular mortality. This is also called as the ocular mortality because it is very, very common. Ocular mortality, right? Second one which we shall remember over here, okay, that will be the refractive error, right? That would be the refractive error, right? Refractive error shall also be called as the ocular morbidity. Morbidity is telling about the sickness, mortality is telling about the death, okay, and we know that from other chapters as well, right? So this is refractive error is called is also called as or also known as the ocular morbidity, right? And it is most common cause of the low vision, right? It is the most common cause of low vision, right? So it is the most common cause of low vision, right? We shall be talking about others as well, right? So let us talk about others also, right? Meanwhile, let me just remove these diagrams. We'll talk about them, but later on, right? So let's talk about the third one, right? That would be the childhood blindness. That is also coming under the priority list according to WHO, right? The fourth one which we shall talk about over here, that will be the onchocerciasis. Onchocerciasis, that is also called as the river blindness. That is also called as river blindness, right? Because it might be entering into the body through the water, right? Basically in the swimming pool or the river, right? By bathing into that. Okay guys, and basically onchocerciasis, it is found usually in the Africa, predominantly in the Africa, right? So only found in Africa. Okay, anyways, next one which we shall talk about over here, that will be the trachoma, right? That would be the trachoma, right? Trachoma, it is giving the cobblestone appearance, right? Trachoma is giving the cobblestone appearance. I will be showing you the image as well. Trachoma is showing the cobblestone appearance, right? Do remember that. And basically these are the deposition of granulomatous tissue, which is mimicking the cobblestone appearance over there, right? So it is happening due to deposition of granulomatous tissue, right? In detail you will be reading about the trachoma in the ophthalmology, granulomatous tissues, right? So that is the thing over here. This is the this is the diagram which you shall remember for this particular thing. So here what we are seeing, that this is the trachoma, here this is the cobblestone appearance which you can see over here, right? And what we can see, that there are the granulomatous tissues which are actually accumulating over there, right? Granulomatous tissue is accumulating over there, which is giving us the appearance of cobblestone appearance, right? Cobblestone appearance. Okay, so no doubt about that. For this one we are using one more scheme over here, for this one we are using one more scheme over here, and that scheme is named as, okay, let me talk about that as well. That scheme is named as safe strategy scheme, not the scheme. Here I will be talking about the strategy basically that is used under the under this trachoma only, that is the safe strategy, SAFE, safe strategy, right? I'm pretty sure that you must have heard about this, must have read about this in your ophthalmology as well. Safe strategy is for the trachoma, right? So basically for the eradication for the trachoma, right? And we want to eradicate it desperately, right? As far as on the world level I'm talking about, globally I'm talking about, we want to eradicate it. That is the safe strategy over here, right? So as for surgery, A for antibiotic, which antibiotic? That could be the azithromycin over here. So azithromycin, here they are talking about azithromax, azithromycin, right? That will be the antibody, the antibiotic. Then F for facial cleanliness and E for the environmental change. That is the safe strategy under the trachoma, right? That is the MCQ also, and the full forms has already also been asked, right? So please do remember them as well, right? Now we shall be talking about under this Vision 2020 only, right? But before that, yeah, I forgot about the Indian list of the priority disease, right? So here in the Indian list, okay, we are having some diseases. Some of them are the same only. The cataract, right? Then we have talked about the refractive error. So that is the concern for India as well. It's a refractive error. This is a priority because this is the most common cause of death, most common cause of mortality. As far as most common cause of blindness, I would say that is the ocular mortality. That is the cataract, and refractive error, most common cause of ocular morbidity, right? That is the low vision. That is the ocular morbidity, most common cause of low vision over there. That is the refractive error, right? And the third one over here, which we shall talk about, that is the same as the world only. That is childhood blindness, right? Here that is a childhood blindness. Then fourth one, which we shall talk about over here, diabetes is very, very common. So diabetic retinopathy, right? If I'm talking about the eyes, right? Diabetic retinopathy, because mainly if we talk about the macro complication of the diabetes, there are three macro complications of the diabetes, right? Which you must have studied about them in the medicine section, that we are having the diabetic retinopathy as far as eyes are concerned, diabetic nephropathy, that is affecting the kidneys, and diabetic neuropathy, that is affecting the nerves, right? So that is the retinopathy if eyes are concerned, right? So fifth one over here, which we shall talk about, that is a glaucoma, where you will be finding the intraocular pressure increase, right? There is an increase in the IOP, that is the intraocular pressure, right? Then there could be the corneal opacity, right? Corneal opacity, right? And how we can forget that very important one, that is the trachoma. So focal trachoma, right? That is also included in the Indian list of the priority diseases, right? So that is about the Indian list, and we have talked about the global list as well. I mean the WHO list of the priority as well. We have talked about the trachoma, right? This is the trachoma we have talked about, right? Trachoma. This is, here we are talking about the safe strategy, and that also we have discussed, right? Now we shall be talking about some other points over here, right? They are saying that under this vision only, globally, right, per year, right, cataract surgery, right, if we talk about the cataract surgery rate, right, and if I'll tell you the cataract surgery rate, you might be surprised that they are saying that minimum 300 cataract surgeries to be done, 300 cataract surgeries, right, they should be done per year for 1 lakh population, right? So that's how it is common, right? Even obviously many people are getting the cataract, but for the cataract we are saying that minimum 300 cataract surgeries should be done per year for handling the cataract cases over there, right? Okay, then who will be the in charge district collector? Whoever will be the district collector, right, that person will be the head of I program, obviously at the district level. I program at district level, right? Sometimes they ask you this kind of funny question, who will be the in charge, who will be the head over there? So that will be the district collector, right? One more point, the surgery we are not doing in the camps. Surgery, they will be done in the fixed locality over there, fixed facility over there, where the proper facilities has been provided, right? So so no surgery in camps, right? Because we don't want to gift the patient any kind of infection unnecessarily, right? Of course. So that is the thing over here. Here is this diagram which is talking about how the system is working. On the very basic center, we are having the vision center, which is working at the level of PHC, that is the primary health clinic, right? Then we are having the upper level, that is service center, which is catering to about 2000 population. Vision center is catering to about 200 population over there, 220,000 vision center, which is catering to about 20,000 population over there, right? And service center, if we talk about here, we are talking about the CHC, right? CHC over there, community health center, or the district hospital, or it might be the district hospital, right? Then we might be having the training center and the center of excellence. In the center of excellence, there are about 20 villages can be there probably. Then here if we talk about the center of excellence and the training center, right, here we are talking about the medical colleges. At this level, the medical colleges are working. They could be the government or private medical institutions or the medical college, right? And the apex one, right, the apex one is the tertiary care institute for the eyes, right? And that is the Rajendra Prasad, right? So Rajendra Prasad Ophthalmic Research Center is there. Rajendra Prasad Ophthalmic Research Center, that is the Apex Institute, right, for the eyes. Okay, so that is the Apex Institute working in India, right? So that was about the NPCB plus VI, National Program for Control of Blindness plus Visual Impairment. Thank you.